All right. So with that, we can move on to the next review, which we have Nature with their comeback EP, I'm So Pretty. Should I read this one?
Yep, that's yours.
All right. All right. So the first track is the title track, the single. And I think this is a really fun comeback song. Comeback song. I said combat.
Combat song, yes.
Yeah, it's a really fun.
When I'm raiding the jungles of Vietnam, I want to listen to Nature's "I'm So Pretty."
Yeah, let me run that back. I think this is a really fun comeback song, and I think this is a big improvement over their previous song.
Oh, 100%.
The group vocals in the chorus are super catchy, and then the bassy beat they use throughout the song is nice as well.
So yeah, at first I wasn't sold on it. In all honesty, it just didn't click. But somehow it just managed to click just immediately. I think mostly just because there's this like really cool like piano line that's going on during the verses, like it's like dun 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 dun, dun, yeah, in the background. I mean, I guess to put it in a nutshell, it's basically everything I liked about You'll Be Mine, but without that weird like stupid EDM drop. And I mean, like, yeah, I was liking that song until the drop. So basically they just got rid of the drop and made it, if anything, yeah, the chorus is probably the best part of the song, and it's probably one of the catchiest I've heard all year. Like, I've had it stuck in my head for like the past couple of weeks. And I also agree it's by far the best of their 3 singles that they've released. It does get a weird bridge in a way, but I feel like it doesn't really bring down the song too much. And besides, they have a really cool like outro section where they're just kind of like talking and like the instrumentals are going on in the back. MV, it's not too ambitious necessarily. It's very like cute, fun, colorful. Girl group MV. Choreography doesn't do much for me though. It's very, 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 very run of the mill when it comes to girl groups. I mean, like the whole thing, like the whole like point choreography is just them waving their hands. So I feel like they could have done something better. Like for as much as I knock Some You'll Be Mine, at least they did something interesting for the that weird EDM drop. So this was written by Erica Lidbaum, Claire Rodriguez Lee, and Uwich. So I mean, I don't
think we know any of them.
Yeah, I don't think we know any of them, but I need to keep an eye on them if they're putting out songs this good.
Yeah. All right. So Nate, he says, "Okay, I did not expect that insane opening. Even though they're a synth, I like the trumpet part. Trumpet in quotes.
I mean, it's like a horn sample, so close enough.
Yeah. Mixed with the awesome piano part, this is a fun, upbeat kind of synth version of a big band sound. I actually like the staccato, minimalistic nature to the singing. It gives the crazy, weird instrumentals the focus. I think it was a good choice since they aren't the most vocally skilled. Damn, burn.
Damn, burn. I mean, I thought it was... Not in this song, but they show in other songs. I feel like they show a lot of vocal talent here. But I mean, this song that you can't really, because it's just group vocals. So
yeah, all right. Love the bass part and piano part the most. The bridge when it goes full synth pop was awesome. MV was really colorful and fun, but nothing crazy. Choreo was fine, but also not super standout. I did like the styling though. All right. So that was Nate's thoughts.
Cooper says, "This is easily the best Nature title track. The previous ones sound derivative, tired, or bland. This one has confidence, sass, and fun instrumentals and a good hook. The MV is their best too, though it's still unremarkable. But for Nugu, they're improving at least. The choreo matches well, but didn't stand out a lot. I mean, I think this song is doing really well compared to like their previous 2 songs as well. Like it already has like 1.5 million views on YouTube, so it's definitely resonating.
That's pretty good.
It's definitely resonating, especially for a Nugu from like not sort of known quantity label. So
yeah,
I still don't have a bias in Nature yet, and I have no idea who I should bias. But I feel like Sebom is like the most popular one. I still can't like identify which one's Sebom like off the bat, but. Maybe I'll bias her.
I don't know who she is, but she's my bias.
I don't know. Please let me know in the comments who I should bias from Nature, because I'm open to any suggestions.
Yeah. All right. So next up we have "Shut Up" with an exclamation point in all caps.
In all caps, yes.
Yes. So this was another catchy song to go right after "I'm So Pretty." The brass they used in the instrumental was a nice choice, and I think it always makes for like good like hype in songs. And again, like Nate was saying, it kind of continues the sort of like big band feel they got going
Yeah.
on. I thought the layered vocals they used throughout the song was kind of nice. And then I also really like the sort of like call and answer thing they have with the rapper and the rest of the group throughout the song.
So yeah, I agree. It was a good follow up to "I'm So Pretty." Just very similar vibe, especially with like the horn instrumentals. It's almost got the like with the addition of this sick guitar riff. It's almost like this like 50s like rockabilly type song, which you wouldn't expect from like K-pop, but surprisingly it works, especially in the chorus. Like the chorus is actually pretty cool. Again, nothing that's incredibly like vocally challenging, but it's just super catchy. And I mean, that's all you can really expect from a group like this. So yeah, I like the consistent use of horns in the album. Definitely brings it together thematically with a lot of these upbeat songs. So I feel like this is a sound they can sort of like expound upon for future albums. I feel like it's definitely a niche that they can refine even further. And it's already good now. So I feel like it can get even better.
All right, so Nate, he says, continuing with the crazy big band style instrumentals. This one has more of a vocal focus, and they're doing their best to imitate the vocal style to match the instrumentals. I think maybe he's talking about like the layering they're doing for the sort of big band thing they're doing. The guitar throughout this song is fantastic. I think this kind of song fits nature really well. It's just upbeat, fun dancing music.
Cooper also likes this song. He says, the song is so funky and fun, definitely my favorite on the album. The real horns add a lot of depth to this song. I also really love the doo-doo-doos with the guitar. Yeah, they vocalize along with the guitar riff. I would really like them to stay with this kind of sound going forward. So yeah, Cooper's definitely in agreement that this is, I think they found their, like usually with new goos, they usually just like throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. I mean, especially with a group like Nature, like we had Allegro Cantabile, which is basically a super like ballady, or like not ballady, just super like vocal type track cover of an anime song essentially. And then you have some You'll Be Mine, which was like an EDM track, and I feel like I'm So Pretty is definitely like sort of what they can build off of. Same with Shut Up.
All right, next up we have Race. Let me pull my notes back up. All right, I thought this song was all right. It's kind of a standard girl group mid-tempo pop song.
Yep.
I didn't really have much to say on it, to be honest, because I thought it was kind of underwhelming compared to the previous two songs. I thought the guitar work on this song was pretty nice, though.
I mean, you basically said everything I wanted to say. It's just pretty much you hear this on every girl group album, especially for New Goose, so nothing new.
All right, so Nate, he says, moving from the big band brassy sound to a loungy ballad makes a lot of sense. Gets the ballady song on the album while still keeping a bit of a through line on the album. As I mentioned before, their vocals aren't exactly the best, but they do a fine job. The instrumental solo after the first chorus was a great idea and executed really well. All right, so Nate liked the song a lot more than we did.
Yeah, same thing with Cooper. He says, okay, they really brought it for this album. The song is kind of electronic and jazzy combined. The piano guitar is so fucking good. The guitar solos and the poppy synths. Oh, ah.
Wow.
Oh, ah. Is he like Roman Reigns or something? Ooh.
I had no idea.
Yeah, before he punches someone in the face, he says, ooh. He screams it at the top of his goddamn lungs. So.
All right. Next up, we have "I Wish."
Cover of the
WGSN song.
Yeah. One of my favorites, by the way.
All right. Yes.
This not so much.
All right. So overall, I thought this was a nice ballad, but once again, it didn't really do that much for me. I feel like, I thought the vocal layering, vocal layering I thought was nice, but again, not much else to say on my end.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It's another situation, like I mentioned with Becken's album, where the song after it just makes it completely redundant. So yeah, this one just kind of fails in comparison. I mean, the vocals are nice. Again, they get to show more vocal focus on this, but I mean, it just kind of feels like a waste.
Yeah. All right. Nate, he says, "Race was a good bridge between the first two songs and this song being a full-on ballad. Honestly, their vocals on this song were better than I expected. They're improving. It's not the most technical ballad or anything, but they did a good job. Nothing too special. It's a girl group ballad."
Cooper,
ballad.
Cooper, on the other hand, says, "Oh, this song played. I don't have anything to say about it." I mean, that's basically how to sum up.
much oof.
Yeah. If they just cut this out and just went straight to a little star, maybe I'd like it better. But
Yeah.
Speaking
All right,
of,
so moving on, we have A Little Star, which I thought this was much better ballad than I Wish, but yeah, like their vocals were nice. The sort of like I don't know. It's hard to describe because again, it's kind of just it's a girl group ballad once again. But I thought their vocals on this were much better than on I Wish. So yeah.
Basically, just following up on what you said, just it makes I Wish completely redundant. I feel almost kind of a Sochi like vibe to it, and like or very early Sochi would be right at home off of the first Girls' Generation album.
Yeah, first one or two albums.
Yeah, so I feel like mostly just because the high notes that they hit definitely remind me of stuff that like Soyeon would do. So I mean that's definitely high praise, especially coming from me being a huge Soyeon. So yeah, I feel I enjoyed this ballad a lot better, and I feel like if this was the one that if they had this instead of this and I Wish, I feel like it would have been a pretty solid album in total.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So overall,
Nate.
Nate. Yes. This is the worst forgot I ever did so far in the episode. All right. Anyways, Nate says, I think this type of ballad with more swelling, complicated instrumentals fits nature way better than I Wish. It just feels a bit more uplifting, which I think fits their image well. Definitely like this better than I Wish in terms of ballads on the album. The instrumentals in this song do go to some really cool places. It builds way more than I thought it would.
Yep. Cooper says, this was going how I expected. A solid ballad song, then the bridge happened and the song just exploded and opened up. Wow. One of the best ballads of the year, I'd say, at least from a girl group. So yeah, very high praise coming from Cooper.
Yes. All right. Now, so yeah, my overall thoughts, extremely top-heavy album for me.
Oh, very top-heavy album.
So basically 2 good tracks and then 3 like tracks that I really can't say much about. So for music, I gave them a 4 out of 7. I think that's more than fair considering less than half the album I liked. A lot, I guess. So music I gave 4 out of 7. Concept I gave it 2 out of 3 because I thought the MV was nice, their styling was nice. It's it was good. So overall I gave a 6 out of 10 for the EP.
On my end, I'm giving 3 points for the single just because I felt like I'm So Pretty was just incredible, blew me away. I feel like they've really hit their stride with this, and I'm actually looking forward to the next comeback from them. You know, they weren't really on my radar after they kind of fell off for a bit, but yeah, I'm actually excited to hear what they'll come up with. 2.5 out of 3.5 for the album. So yeah, I mean, Shut Up and A Little Star are good, but yeah, Race and I Wish are kind of the lowlights of the album. 2 out of 3 for Concept. Most of that's just basically on just good visuals, and I like the outfits or whatever. Definitely need to step it up a bit with the choreography, but it wasn't too bad. So that's a 7.5 on my end. And again, my grading system's kind of weird, but I'd say that's a very good score for them, being a new group. So I'm actually really I'm pretty high on this group now.
All right, so for Nate, he says, overall, I think the first 2 songs are crazy and fun and fit nature perfectly. Race does a good job going from that big band sound and bridging the gap to the ballads with a more loungy ballad. Overall, I think the album had too many ballady songs and should have had more of the first 2 songs, which I agree with. A Little Star did help the album end on a good note though, as it builds really well for a ballad. Nothing stood out too much about the concept, but it wasn't bad or anything. So with that, I kind of agree. Like, it's for a new group like this, I think being so ballad heavy is kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
especially if their title tracks are trying to be like super big bandy and hype. And,
anything but ballady. So
yeah, I think it's just too
safe.
Safe. Yeah, exactly. So that's basically my biggest gripe with them. I guess with this album rather.
So what was this? What score did he give?
Nate's score for music, he gave it a 5.5, and concept he gave it 2 for a 7.5 out of 10.
So that's 3 7.5s because Cooper also gave a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, so I knew I'd be the negative Nancy on this album.
Yeah, total score would be a 7 out of 10. Again, that's a pretty good score, especially for a new goo group.
Yeah.
I think we're all looking forward to seeing what they're gonna follow up with on I'm So Pretty. It's just something that came out of the blue for us. So, what do you think of Nature and I'm So Pretty? Who should my bias be? Do you want to see them do more of these like big bandy type of songs? I do, definitely. So leave your thoughts in the comments. Still don't know why they just randomly did Highlight and then it was separate from the rest of their set.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was Everglow influence, like them having more time because it was separate from the rest of their songs, which none of the artists did. The only time they had separate